Mitsuru senpai! Ah! Ah! No, please! Mitsuru senpai! Not the prostate! Ah! Ah! Sniff! Snort! I'm going to draw! Rules of nature! Don't be a baby, it's just your prostate. My prostate can handle all the fingering it needs to take from local nurses or whatever if they want to check. Cock and ball torture from Wikipedia, the free internet encyclopedia. Yes. As men, getting our prostate simulated is just the way of life. We can't avoid it, you know? Have you ever put a finger in your butt? Yes. And it smelled bad, because that's where your shit comes out of. Pro tip. The butthole is where the poop comes out of. I know a lot of you guys didn't know that. When are Final Fantasy VII and Stellar Blade coming to PC? I'm not buying a PS5 when their exclusivity deals run out, which is probably in about like 6 months, I'm guessing. When you are no longer interested in the game and you probably don't want to play it anymore, that's when it will come to PC. This is my guess. You can avoid it, but you risk cancer. I mean, I'm literally at the age where I have to start getting prostate exams soon. It's like 45 is when they recommend that you need to start getting your prostate examined, so it's actually like right around the corner for me. Feels good, man. Apparently there's a controversy on Stellar Blade because one of the costumes was slightly censored. Yeah, I saw people screaming about it on 4chan, but, you know, 4chan needs to shitpost or else they don't die, so... I wish they'd censor her fucking triangular jaw. That bugs me way more than slightly less skin being visible. Those silly Koreans. I think it was PlayStation Sony that censored this. Because in the demo, I think people like mined the demo data or some shit like that. So it was like a last minute censorship. So I think it was either Sony directly censoring it, or they had to have a version that would pass. The gore is probably for the Japanese Censorship Bureau. SCERO, SCERO. But yeah, nothing can be uncensored in this day and age, unfortunately. Unless it's like Futa Cox and Baldur's Gate. Evo Japan. There's too much shit to watch right now. I have to watch the NBA playoffs and Evo Japan and draw and all this shit at the same time. I don't have time for this shit. I just watched the Spy Family movie. Do not talk about it here. Not because I'm avoiding spoilers, but because I fucking hate Spy Family. We don't want to go on my anti-Spy Family rant. Fuck Spy Family. I've never seen it, but I agree. It's painfully pedestrian. I saw a bunch of mangaka drawing historical manga covers, and the Spy Family guy drew Hitler. I think what annoys me, I saw those images as well. I think what annoys me about that one is that most of the mangaka, you can't tell which mangaka it is if you don't look at their name, because they didn't properly do their style. Except only Araki did Napoleon in his style in a way that it's pretty fucking obvious it's both Napoleon and he's the author. Once again proving that as much as I meme on JoJo fans, Araki is in a class of his own. The Napoleon cover one was good. It's Napoleon doing the famous painting of him crossing the mountains on his horse shot, except like the ground is pink because it's Araki drawing, and Araki colors whatever the fuck he wants to color, whatever color he wants, so it's pretty aesthetic. I find it goofy how Araki's storyboard sketches look incomprehensible. In all fairness, his finished manga is also incomprehensible half the time, but JoJo fans have been so deeply mind-fucked by reading his comic for 20 years, they can decipher what the fuck is going on, but half of the time, a normal human being wouldn't even be able to understand what's actually happening without whatever JoJo protagonist being like, "What's going on? Gyro! Something's coming out of the ground! Duh, 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 duh. It's the sound! The sound is becoming letters and attacking us!" It's like, okay, thanks for explaining, Araki, because if you didn't fucking explain it, nobody would fucking know what's going on. Holy shit! He used the same color palette for SBR covers. Yeah, it literally is SBR, except it's Napoleon instead. Rumble, rumble, rumble. It's probably even harder to understand what's going on if you can only read English. But it's pretty fucking hard to understand what's going on in Japanese as well, not gonna lie. Half the time I'm like, what is this supposed to be? Is that a telephone pole? And then once I keep on reading, I'm not like, oh, of course that's what it is. Instead, I'm like, what the fuck are you drawing, Araki? Of course I don't understand what you're drawing. Why is the timer on? Did you draw all of that in 12 minutes already? It's just to keep track of how long I'm drawing every day. I'm not really doing my go all-out high-speed drawing right now, but I'm more in a quality mode, quality improvement mode. You can't do both at the same time, unfortunately. Because improving your quality often is like looking at what you're drawing and making smart decisions about how to make it better, you know, that type of stuff. So shadows out of sight. Once I saw a YouTube video of someone explaining a steel ball run set piece where they made a whole 3D model of the local area to explain what was happening. Where they like JoJo and Gyro think they're on their horses going over here, but then they get sent backward 30 seconds in time, causing them to hallucinate that they're supposed to make a right turn here instead, which is why they're walking in circles. It's like, no, whatever, dude. What the fuck are you even talking about, bro? Because that's like 90% of Steel Ball Run content right there. They're like, JoJo, something's wrong! We're walking in circles, JoJo! Oh my god, this is so spooky! This is so spooky! We're being attacked by an enemy stand! I can't get over how, no matter how many times people get attacked by enemy stands, they always have like a 5-second period when they get attacked by the next enemy stand where they're like, what are you doing, JoJo? Stop being silly. And JoJo has to be like, huh, something's wrong. And the companion is like, this isn't the time to be having jokes. It's just like, dude, you're being attacked by an enemy stand again. You know, the thing that happened 2 days ago? If something weird is happening, you're being attacked by an enemy stand. You'd think you'd figure this out by now. Holy fuck. I thought it was retarded. It is. However, it's stylish and cool, so don't take this shit for granted. Once Araki is dead, and by dead I mean he will have to start pretending that he's dead because he can't let people know that he's a vampire. Once that happens and he disappears and we don't have JoJo anymore, it will be sad because the quality of your life will go down. But for now we can meme on it. Same thing for One Piece, unfortunately. This sand, it's weird. What could this mean? Yeah, and then I'm like, haha, don't be silly, JoJo. It's just normal sand. Oh my god, my leg! Oh god! Half of my leg has been torn up by like a fucking shark or something in the sand. How could I have expected this to happen? I've made a horrible mistake. But don't worry. You'll just patch up my fucking leg by next week. It'll be fine. Can't wait to finally start reading after the story ends. I mean, if you're talking about JoJo, you may as well start reading now because it's not something you really need to wait on. I mean, JoJo Part 1 and Part 2 and Part 3 and Part 4 are all completely different from each other, so I mean, One Piece. I would start reading One Piece now, to be honest. If you start reading it now, considering that you'll probably get bored of it halfway through, you'll probably catch up with the main manga right about when it's about to end, so I think you can just start now, honestly. Part 9 is monthly, so it's going to take 15 years from now to end. Yeah, but he can also end it whenever he wants. It's not like One Piece where Oda actually is bound by traditional storytelling mediums of like setting stuff up. At any point, Araki can just be like, "Oh my god, he stabbed himself. He stabbed his stand with the arrow. It's now become Gold Experience Requiem. Oh, time is going backwards. What's going on?" And then all the JoJo consumers will be like, "Bravo, clap, clap, clap. Araki has done it again. What another masterpiece." So, you know, he can end it whenever he wants. Also, hasn't it been monthly for a while now, though? I thought I thought Part 8 was all monthly. No? I don't know if I want to do this. How does he do it? By not giving a fuck, to be honest. He's trained his readership over the course of many, many years to not give a fuck. Bravo, Vince moment. Yeah, Araki is basically if Vince McMahon was unbound by the powers of like physics and time and stuff like that, which is a terrifying thought. That's what you get. You get like JoJo if you get rid of all rules. Imagine if Vince had the powers of time acceleration. He would be unstoppable. The kayfabe would be off the charts. Most unhinged mangaka? I mean, we've straight up had mangaka that have been arrested for, you know... I'm gonna go with, he wasn't the mangaka, but he was the author of... I think it was Act Age, who said that bicycling was his hobby and he could still do it during Corona. And then later he got caught by riding past high school girls on his bike and like grabbing their tits or something. I can't remember specifically what he did. And promptly got caught. Stan Pro Wrestling would go crazy. I mean, considering the survivability of JoJo characters, it's basically pro wrestling. That poor artist for a mangaka, LOL. This is why you should be do both the art and the story yourself. Don't rely on other people. You never know when your partner is gonna fuck up. Tatsuki Fujimoto has videos of him trying to levitate on YouTube. I feel like Fujimoto is more of like a normal person who he just feels like he's a weirdo because he has such a following by cringe hipsters on the internet who are, I swear man, if you're browsing like 4chan, IC and stuff, it sometimes feels like Tatsuki Fujimoto is literally the only mangaka in the entire world. They're spending all their time like either hating on him or talking about what a genius he is. He has way more like internet presence than the actual number of people who buy his books. Like, normies in Japan and America do not care about Chainsaw Man as much as everybody else does. Fujimoto was his own sister. Yeah, the Twitter shit was kind of weird. I'll give him that. I thought Look Back was just okay. Yeah, I don't really care about it. I haven't read it. I'm not really interested in navel gazing. So whenever anybody like writes a novel about being a novelist or a mangaka writes a manga about being a mangaka, I'm just like, I don't really care. We're not as interesting as we think we are. Things that I will miss when they're gone is like JoJo, One Piece, Baki. Things that we don't appreciate as much as maybe we should because they won't be around forever. Things that I won't care when they're gone. Hajime no Ippo, which is still going at like 140 fucking volumes or something, and presumably will end at some point. Detective Conan, which will actually literally never end because it's already set up so that it will be able to continue going even without when the author is dead or retired. Oda is going hard in the end of One Piece. What end of One Piece? We're still like 8 years away from being 8 years away. We just need to all pray for his health so he doesn't fucking die. Like, just whatever final battle that Oda is playing, that alone is gonna take a solid year and a half. And we're not even halfway to the final battle yet. We don't even have the setup for the final battle. We don't even have the setup for the final arc or the island yet. You seriously think it's gonna be done anytime soon? Oda is fucking delusional if he thinks that it's gonna be done in like another 5 more years. Duke Togo's ass is covered on his side. Duke Togo will continue murdering people until I die. Forever. Total Soviet assassination. Break into his studio and feed him sufficiently for his health. His problem isn't not eating. His problem is that he doesn't get to stand up from his chair except like every 5 months or so. Someone needs to break into his studio and be like, Oda, I'm putting a gun to your head. You have to draw 5 less characters in every single panel. Instead of filling up every single white space with, like, information. So you can actually, like, go outside and walk around and stuff. He needs, like, a nutritionist and, like, a gym buddy or something. To make sure that he doesn't fucking get gout. Draw more efficiently, you psycho? Yeah, just draw less. For real. Like, he can get away with drawing so much less. In fact, I've seen many people complain on the Japanese internets about how it's hard to read. One Piece is currently hard to read right now because there's so much details in every single panel. People are like, I remember Arlen Park and the East Blue phase of the manga in which, you know, everything wasn't so fucking crowded. Like they're boomers remembering the good old days. I remember Kishimoto bragging to Oda that he could take walks with his kids after Naruto ended, which is why he was like, LMAO, instead of starting my new series in which I do the actual drawing, I will be the author of Samurai 7. Or was it 8? I can't remember. I guess it was 8. Samurai 8. That way I'll have more time. And then it turned out that he was a fucking horrible writer. And it got cancelled immediately. And I would say that Oda is having the last laugh, but nobody is having the last laugh, actually. It was a massive fucking failure. I love it when mangaka are like, I'm gonna write novels from now on, I'm classy. I mean, someone needed to basically tell Kishimoto that his writing was ass in the editorial department. Which is something that anybody who was reading Naruto probably could have figured out. However, it didn't happen, so, you know. What's your favorite manga, BB? Unfortunately, you've never heard of it. I have several candidates, but I don't feel like explaining any of them. Not to be hipster, but you literally haven't heard of most of them, so... Honestly, American internet has only heard of like 5 different manga. And they're all from Jump. I was gonna say that's hipster as fuck. Kek W. Okay, guys, name like manga that isn't like Jump or Berserk or like one of these like 6 or 7 different manga. American manga consumerism is so fucking shallow. I can't even have a conversation with you guys. I'm not even joking. It seems like Japanese normies have only heard of stuff from Jump too. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that you guys are basically the equivalent of normies. We kind of reached a point a while ago where anime and manga became normie shit. Yeah, except that there's still a ton of manga that you don't know about, because there's like the manga that is made for normies and then gets animated, and the stuff that gets animated and then becomes consumed by normies like bocce. But there's still like a shit ton of stuff. Like, what seinen do you guys read besides, I don't know, like kaiji or something, right? There's a shit ton of stuff that's famous in Japan but isn't considered to be normie content that will never be consumed by Americans because it's too much trouble for the nerds who have like 4 years of college Japanese to try and translate it. You should do a live translation storytime stream of your favorite manga. I don't have time for that shit. I'm drawing right now. My job in life is not to hold the hands of the English-speaking plebs and drag them into the enlightened era of Japanese manga consumerism. I have better things to do. Bocce the cock. Half of the Bocce hentai is her fucking the other girls with her giant futa cock. So, yeah. Become a subscriber now. This guy gets it. Have you seen the situation on Escape from Tarkov where they were doubling down on the 250 DLC? Yeah, I saw a little bit of that on YouTube. I didn't understand the Tarkov fan base to begin with because they were all like, oh boy, I sure love... So, there was a Japanese Tarkov streamer that I was following for a little bit, and I didn't understand how people were okay with the content where they would... You'd have to do all these missions or whatever. I forgot what they were called. They were called tasks, right? You'd have to do a bunch of fucking tasks, which is like hit a sniper shot from 100 meters or some shit like that. You'd have to do all this shit, and then... It's like, okay, now I'm finally done with my tasks, and now I can start grinding other stuff. And then they fucking reset the server, and now you're like, now I have to do my tasks again. Except the Tarkov streamers weren't like, now I have to do my tasks again. They're like, oh boy, now I can do my tasks again. Like, as if it was, you know, I don't know, like it was like fucking fun or something. I was just like, I don't get these people. These people are just like built for abuse. So, it makes sense why whatever company this game company is from, that they would think that they can abuse their fan base even farther, because I feel like the game is just inherently for masochism. So why wouldn't they just like fuck their customers up even more? What's to stop them? Escape from Sisyphus. That's the cool part. You never fucking escape. Because if you're a Tarkov player and you finally get like a shit ton of gear and a shit ton of bullets and stuff all saved up, what do you do next? Then you're like, oh, I've lost interest. I've grinded a bunch of shit, now I have all my stuff. And then they stop playing, and then it's like, oh, the server has been reset, now I can grind again. It's like, what's wrong with you people, you know? But they can't fucking help themselves. It's just the fan base. I might be a masochist, but I find it disgusting. We probably have a lot of masochists in this stream, by the way. They learn to be good little workers in school, that's why. I mean, here's the thing. At least in other video games, where you just grind indefinitely, it's grinding the same character, right? Like, if it takes you literally 10 years to reach, I don't know, the next level in Lineage, because the Lineage experience system starts to increase exponentially after a certain point, I believe is how it works. Like, at least it's the same fucking character, so then you'll be like, I'm the only character on the server who's level 21 instead of level 20 or whatever the fuck. But in the case of Tarkov, it's like, why are you doing this to yourself? Speedrunners are on that eternal grind. Yeah, but at least, like, you might have a eternal world record if it's a game that nobody cares about or something. Thoughts on Lineage 2 female characters? I like dark elves that are brown, but I also like dark elves that are blue. And I credit Lineage for that. Dark elves exist to take human cock and give birth to human children. Or maybe elf children with human genes. What about dark elves that are jet black? Nah. You can have some gray variations, but they should either be blue, gray, grayish blue, or brown. Those are the options in my book. Jet black is bad for if you're doing manga panels. Suddenly you have people being like, excuse me, sir, I noticed that your character, Mr. Popo, is a racist depiction. We need to censor him. Wasn't he censored to be blue anyways? Thus proving my theory right, that characters can't actually be jet black for racial sensitivity. Mr. Popo is a saint slash house slave. I wonder how people react when they see the Elf Queen in Dungeon Meshi. I'm pretty sure they won't get that far. I mean, you're assuming that... I haven't read all of Dungeon Meshi, but I'm pretty sure she shows up late, so... I don't know how many volumes they were able to cover in the first season of anime, but you should never assume that you're going to get another season, so... If he really is a genie, then he's definitely a slave. But aren't we all slaves at the end of the day to our own desires? Goku is a slave to his Saiyan instincts of fighting all the time. Mr. Popo is a slave to the god, so he's doing okay. I'm pretty sure God slash not Piccolo has absolute minimum needs. So I think Mr. Popo has like a shit ton of free time. Goku is a slave to Chi-Chi. No, he isn't. He doesn't work at all. It's literally a major plot point in the anime that he doesn't have any job. If anything, she's a slave to him. He's living off of her father's savings, despite being like the most powerful man in the universe. He's a fucking giga neat. He's a slave to her vagine. We only know that he had sex with her like twice. There have been literally zero depictions of Goku being horny. He just has sex off screen, which makes me think that he might have gotten raped. It's just as likely that Chi-Chi fucked him while he was asleep and he didn't wake up or something. Goku has like childlike innocence, so pretty much any sex that has happened is probably Chi-Chi just fucking him. Chi-Chi put something in his meal. I mean, he's too fucking stupid. She wouldn't even need to drug him. She'd just be like, Goku-sa, you sit there and look at the ceiling. And he's like, what's going on? And she's like, just enjoy it. And he's like, huh. Probably. You could literally lie to him about anything. And he'd just believe it. Lucky Ox King has a seemingly bottomless bank account. I mean, he comes from the Journey to the West phase of Dragon Ball. So he has like a legendary treasure hoard or something. Also, they live in like the mountains in the middle of nowhere, so they're probably living below the poverty level. If you think about it, Chi-Chi is like, she's a rich girl that is living in the mountains below poverty level and like desperately trying to get her son to go to school so they can break out of the cycle of poverty or something. It's kind of sad because she has a deadbeat father for their children who doesn't work. Goku, this is a new type of training. Just lay down and move your hips. I mean, he spent the entire first half of Dragon Ball pre-Z tapping Bulma's vagina or other people's vagina because he couldn't tell whether they were a man or a woman unless he grabbed their cock and balls. So, yeah, I think it's pretty... Oh shit, I can hear the ice cream truck outside. Hold on, I have to pause stream to go outside and buy ice cream. Just kidding. Money only matters to people who can't throw rocks faster than bullets. Also, there's like dinosaurs and giant boars and stuff in that world. So if they ever need to eat like meat or something, you can just go and murder a dinosaur conveniently, and then they have food for months. Well, not months, I guess. Goku will probably eat a dinosaur in about half a day, but you know what I mean. Go get the Goku ice cream with the fucked up gumball eyes. The idea that we need ice cream where it has facial characteristics was a really bad idea. Considering it's always going to be, the face is always going to be fucked up. Whoever was like, we should have faces on this character, thus giving birth to man-made horrors of SpongeBob, you know. Melting SpongeBob face. It's just like, what have we done? Oh my god. I'm pretty sure the dinosaur that grabbed Bulma at the start could talk. Yeah, there's all sorts of weird rules about talking animals and shit in Dragon Ball. Like that flying cat that can transform into hot female pussy. Thus explaining why Yamcha has not gotten married. For real, guys, why would you ever get married to an actual woman where you have your androgynous cat bro who can transform into anything you want that is eternally loyal to you? and follows you around floating. Ain't the cat friends with a pig that can do that as well? Yeah, but the pig is pretty obviously a male, whereas the cat is kind of ambiguous. Don't fuck Oolong. What, is this a pro tip here? If Yamcha wants to fuck Oolong, he's gonna fuck Oolong, okay? It's not up for us to decide. Oolong turned into Bulma and gave Muten Roshi a so-called puff puff off screen. Wasn't that... yeah, no, that was Oolong, yeah. Speaking of furries, Renamon has quintuple digits of porn. We're not gonna talk about Renamon's porn in this stream, guys. We've already covered that topic. Despite the fact that she's a child level in Japan, guys, stop worrying about the age of fictional fucking characters. Jacking off to a furry fox does not make you a pedophile. You need to stop worrying about this shit. The world is full of actual pedophiles that need to get arrested by the FBI. Stop spreading your resources about shaming people for jacking off to a yellow fox creature from Digimon. There's more important shit to worry about. Chi-Chi got by while Goku was dead. Maybe his life insurance was just crazy. Goku didn't fucking work when he was alive, dude. It doesn't make any difference. She got by because her father is rich, that's all. Honestly, he's rich to the point that if they were in a developed economy like we have right now, she could probably just live off the interest. But I believe all of their money is in like gold and shit, so people have already mass report banned dudes over the past couple days over loli memes. Banned where? On Twitch or Twitter or whatever. Is this the gamer girlfriend being a child meme that I saw? Always dumbass Twitter. I'm pretty sure if you're actually on, like, the FBI's child crimes, whatever, task force shit, you wish people would stop doing this shit because it's only like putting a extra noise in the whole operation. Like, there's already insane amounts of child porn going around on the internet. And having a billion people on Twitter being like, oh, he drew a picture of a 16-year-old in a sexual manner is just corrupting your search results and stuff. There was some issue with real child porn being uploaded to Twitter that got smoothed over a little before Elon took over. I mean, that's pretty much every platform on the internet that has any kind of image uploading capabilities. It's if you don't have the mods actually doing their job, you 100% are going to get some people trying to use it to spread child porn. That's why Tumblr got fucking shut down, basically. Because they couldn't figure out how to differentiate between, you know, child porn and non-child porn. And they had to fucking shoot themselves in the foot. Do dumbasses not understand what's fiction and reality? The answer is no, they don't. Or more importantly, they don't care, because the number one pastime after the internet was developed is making yourself seem like you're a better person than other people on the internet, as in virtue signaling. And there's nothing that's easier for virtue signaling than claiming your opponent is a pedophile. So all of these people who have nothing better to do with their lives spend every single waking hour accusing other people of being pedophiles to make themselves look good. And surprise, surprise, a good percentage of those people who do spend their time doing that shit, it turns out that they're actual pedophiles and get arrested because, wow, who would have thought that the people that are the most passionate about accusing other people of a crime are actually doing that crime themselves. Hunting real pedos is hard and takes time. Yes, you need actual evidence and stuff. Unlike on Twitter where you can just call someone a pedo and call it a day. I worked for Evo Mr. Wizard. Yes. Nice. Now you get to work for Pokemon. Your Twitter comments is full of crybabies who are like that. I mean, it's not as much as you would expect, to be honest. I see one crybaby. She's literally 16. How can you sexualize this anime character? Like, once in a while, but considering how bad Twitter is as a whole, my comments section is pretty much an oasis of common sense at this point. Very high quality work here. I'm coming to terms with something that I've been ignoring when drawing black and white pictures, and that is the fact that having hard blacks, like what I'm doing with the hair shadow right here, is kind of mandatory to make the picture look good. And figuring out how to use your hard blacks is really important, and if you can't figure that out, you're not going to be able to make a really good looking image. So I'm really forcing myself to actually figure it out. It's time consuming though, because having like true 0% light 100% black is it's a very dramatic thing to your eye, so if you don't figure out how to do it correctly, it's gonna look bad. I've been using grays in many cases because it's much more easier to, it's more of a neutral thing. Please don't turn into Dave Finch and make 40% of the page black. Yeah, now I'm gonna adjust the values after this so it doesn't feel too dark. How do I become good at drawing office ladies? You need to figure out how to do human anatomy, and then you need to put the suits on them. So basically, get good, yes. Unfortunately, there's no way around getting good. As much as you may desire that you can not get good. There is no way to get good without getting good. Maybe we can make the hair a little bit lighter. See, if I make the hair lighter, then the black areas I just added seem a little too excessive, which is why I'm doing it all on a different layer. This is why the timer doesn't mean shit, because I'm currently in my fiddle around and try and figure out what work stage of my work. So I haven't even decided what I want to do. Like, if you know how you want to create the image, then it's not a big deal, but I'm currently still fiddling around with different shit and trying to figure out, and we ain't there yet. We ain't there yet, bro. I need about like 3 or 4 more years of properly finishing pictures. Honestly. I like your style, but yeah, the grind must go on. My style, it's not at a professional level, unfortunately. Here, let me show you a good image right here. Here's a picture I did for the manga I'm working on. Look how the balance... This is an image I really like because I was able to figure out the balance. Look at the balance of the hard blacks, the grays, and then the whites. Right here. I made sure I had a really strong dark black area and then some gray areas and white areas. And like, I need to have like this level of basically light and dark balance and trying to figure out how to do that in basically every image. It's easy when you have like a big black lighting source, but often you'll see manga, well you might not see manga because they're usually not that popular, but manga that quote-unquote look good usually have a good sense of how to build the image with a black area, a gray area, and a white area, like that. Nice gradient and values. That's the terminology I'm looking for. I haven't actually studied art in a very long time, so I forgot all the terminology, but yeah, that's basically what I want to say. Gradient and values. I need to beat Elden Ring. It's been 2 years already. Shut the fuck up, you fucking pussy. Just go and pick up Rivers of Blood and beat the goddamn game. Jesus Christ. There's people in this chat disgust me. Playing Elden Ring 2 years after it. Elden Ring came out at the same time that Russia started their main invasion of Ukraine, guys. Rivers of Blood, a weapon you get at the second to last area. Okay, use any katana. Fucking katana are like still broken. I heard they were nerfed a little bit, but I did my first playthrough with a strength faith build, and then immediately after my first playthrough, I started my second playthrough. I'm like, I'm gonna use all the meta weapons that are supposedly broken, and oh boy, the fucking katanas, man. Anybody who claims that From Software games don't have an easy mode, let me show you easy mode. The fucking katanas. You can start off with the Uchigatana if you choose the samurai, and by God, it makes the game easy. They still shred? I'm sure they do. Nippon Steel will never be put into place. We can't stop it. It's too much power. Folded 10,000 times. Why are the katanas so busted? Because Japanese steel is too powerful, that's why. The spirit of the samurai. Gaijin Waito Piggu will never understand. Dishonorable. Hello? I want to make a European fantasy game, but make sure the katanas are busted. I mean, what can we say? Historically, we know the katana is the most powerful weapon ever created. More powerful than a nuclear bomb. Our video games must reflect this. I remember that one time I was walking around in America and a local man cast gun on me, and to counter him I used my Japanese folded steel katana, and I blocked all the bullets in midair. I have high dex score, you know, so it was pretty easy. And he was like, What are you doing? And I told him that he doesn't have the samurai spirit. And he kneeled at my overwhelming Japanese Yamato Damashi. Then I teleported behind him and cut his head off. It was extremely based. The most powerful weapon is compounded interest. I think, unironically, right now we're learning that we're learning about the limits of having a shit ton of money right now, because America doesn't properly tax its billionaires. We have all these billionaires that are like, I have so much money, I don't know what to do with it. I should do something like try and change the world or some shit like that, and then they actually try and change the world and it doesn't work. I think we've actually reached the limits of the power of compounded interest at this point. I'm saying this because I saw a very short program on the Hyperloop last night while drawing. And I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Remember the Hyperloop, guys? The idea where they're like, hey, what if we have public transportation that's super fast and you get in like a car, except the car's on rails and it goes from one point in a city to another point in city. And then normal people were like, you mean a train? And then the billionaires were like, no, not a train, you silly plebs. What about if instead of making a train, we wasted all our money on some fucking useless piece of shit technology that we haven't actually tested yet? And there were like a million Hyperloop companies. And then everything got fucking cancelled. Elon turned it into a dangerous tunnel that they drive cars through. There were non-Elon versions which also failed as well. It wasn't just him, but yeah. And watching that documentary, I was just like, oh yeah, that's right. There's way too much money going around right now. The billionaires have more money than they know what to do with it. So they just, you know, they just throw it at whatever next project that they can think of. Because they hope that they'll be the ones that have this Hyperloop monopoly going forward. That will make them even more money. Hence capitalism. Except because people have too much money now, they're fucking throwing their money at extremely stupid projects that, you know, should be obvious that they should be doing something else. Hence the whole fucking failed, bankrupt Hyperloop situation. Don't worry, the Saudi Arabians have it figured out with their Line City, LMAO. I'm looking forward to when global warming makes the entire Saudi peninsula completely uninhabitable. As much as I hate global warming and it getting hotter, that part will be very enjoyable. A katana could slice the Hyperloop in half. I mean, it probably could, considering it's probably made out of extremely shitty engineering. You probably just tap it with a paper knife or something and it fucking explodes, so... So many tax cuts for billionaires because US government thought trickle-down economy was an actual thing. I don't think they actually thought it was an actual thing. I think it was just, that the billionaires are funding politicians so that they don't have to pay taxes. I think there's a very small percentage of Republican politicians like Paul Ryan, if anybody remembers that sad sack of shit, who actually believe that trickle-down economy and Ayn Rand and, you know, Atlas Shrugged and all that shit was real. And then the other 80% of the politicians are just like, yeah, I got, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars of campaign funds from rich billionaires, so I have to make sure they don't have to pay taxes. I think it's that simple. Isn't DoorDashing pretty close to trickle down? What, as in, dumb people buying DoorDash? I mean, I don't know who's rich here, because there's a shit ton of poor people that shouldn't be ordering DoorDash that order DoorDash. If you're implying that the DoorDash customers are the people up top and they're giving money to their poor drivers, I guarantee that that is not true. The DoorDash people who order DoorDash are just stupid. They're not rich. What is the worst meal to deliver for DoorDash? I mean, it's not really the meals. It's the restaurant that you're going to. So, as a DoorDasher, what you want to avoid is drive-thrus. If you're trying to DoorDash after all the normal restaurants close and only the drive-thrus are open, they won't let you fucking skip in line to pick up the food that's ready, for example, at Taco Bell, which means you'll be stuck in the drive-thru for like 30 minutes where everyone else is waiting for their fucking Taco Bell because I guess these dumbasses can't open a can of beans at home. So it'll be a massive waste of time. So as soon as you get like a Taco Bell order at like 11 p.m. and stuff when you're trying to be a DoorDash driver, make sure you say no to that shit. It's never worth it. When I was a poor college boy, I lived off ramen and sandwiches. Ordering anything was just out of the question. Current college students, they either have money because they're like the little emperor kids from China, so they're just ordering DoorDash all day long because they have $1 billion from their fucking rich-ass parents, or they are just going into debt and they don't give a fuck, or maybe both. Who knows? People are dumb as fuck. Yes, this is true. It's not just people, it's Americans specifically. Americans are very dumb. People in general are dumb, but Americans are a special kind of dumb, especially when it comes to ordering fast food by extremely expensive delivery services because they're too fucking lazy to go to the store or cook or whatever. That's a special kind of stupidity that Americans really specialize in. I'm an American, I agree, but fuck you, Keck W. Hey, I'm an American and I'm driving DoorDash. I haven't actually drove DoorDash in quite a while now because this entire month I've basically not DoorDashing. Because I have to work on my fucking manga. You on the grind, bro. No bullshit. I was doing like $200 of DoorDash per week, which it wasn't that hard in my area. I could always make about like $20 an hour on average. But, you know, that's like temporary income. I want to be leveling up myself, and you don't level up by playing DoorDash. before I die, I want to be like, damn, I was a good artist. And I'm not at that point yet, so... The grind right now is real. I heard Flint, Michigan still doesn't have normal access to drinking water. Yeah, but it's Flint, Michigan, so nobody gives a fuck. Flint, Michigan was like a horrible place before they cut off the water supply, so people are just like LMAO. Grubhub Wagey Dance, LMAO, yes. I remember that. You're already having so many followers proves you're a good artist. I'm a good entertainer. But not necessarily a good artist. Have to get better. Followers don't make a good artist. That's a huge illogical leap. I think above a certain amount. Like, I can't think of any Twitter artists that have, like, more than 200,000 followers or something that aren't good artists if you're going into art infrastructure. Except Sakimi-chan. Fuck you, Sakimi-chan. You're a shit artist. Debate me on my podcast right now. I see how you're ducking me. I know some that are pretty mediocre and have like 20,000 likes on every post. I mean, that's like, they probably have some cool memes going on. What there is, it's more in the opposite direction. There's some artists that are extremely skilled or technically skilled, but they don't play the Twitter attention-getting game, and they don't provide like entertainment and content. So they, as a result, they don't have many followers. I follow a bunch of artists that are extremely technically skilled, specifically, so I can steal their skills that don't have many followers. How do you play that game? Just post meme drawings? I mean, I don't know. I've literally never had difficulty when it comes to people paying attention to my shit, so... At literally every point in my life when I've been drawing pictures, I've had people, like, interested in my pictures, so... I've never had the experience of, you know, you post something and nobody pays attention to it, even like pre-internet. Like, I was drawing manga in elementary school and stuff when I was in Japanese elementary school, and I would fucking pass it around classroom and like other kids would read it and shit, and they'd ask me what's gonna happen next and stuff like that. So I have never had the experience of like the artist that people don't care about and don't pay attention to his stuff. So it's kind of hard for me to be like, I feel your pain when people are like, I drew something, it took me 30 hours, and nobody actually ever looked at it, because I've never had that experience. Work for me? Yeah, I don't really know what worked for me as well. It could have been anything. This line here is too dark. Baal being humble and cocky at the same time is a vibe. I mean, I'm just being honest. Because, like, I know there are people that are technically skilled and can't get any traction on the internet, and I can't really offer any advice to them. That's the truth. Because I don't really know what constitutes of internet attention. Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes, not necessarily sure though. Because there's like it's not necessarily luck in some cases, because there's the algorithm, right? Maybe not for Twitter, but for shit like YouTube, there's definitely the unseen hand of the content curator of Google and shit, fucking shit up for people. So, which is why everybody has the same fucking thumbnail on all their YouTube videos right now, with like the text where it's like, "You won't believe what happens," and then like crazy reaction image face, right? Chase the trend, I guess. I am chasing the trend. That's why I'm watching Drawing Tits right now. Also because I want to coom to inside Mitsuru Senpai's vagina and impregnate her. I don't know if the pandemic is that related to Twitter stuff though, because people look at Twitter on their phone. It's not like PC content. It's not like how every PlayStation was like sold out during the pandemic because like all the fucking normies decided they were going to become gamers now. Face when your most popular post is a literal trace of Flavor of the Month anime just converted to your favorite game. Do you know what my post I've done that got the most likes out of everything? I'll give you guys a guess. I'm sure some people know. I'll give you a hint. It's not any of my original content. The answer is the comic I drew in which MC-kun tells Nagatoro to fuck off and never talk to him again, and she breaks down and cries in a darkened room. That thing got like 48,000 comments and or 48,000 likes and literally 1,000 comments because it became like a discussion forum for like men who feel they were abused by women and were like, I fucking hate Nagatoro. I hope she suffers in hell. Yeah. So that's the power of the internet right there. The collective incel anger of men who hate women. Push that to number one. I heard that Nagatoro and Senpai are a couple now. I hope that Senpai has finally grown some balls and punches her in the face regularly, considering that seems to be what she wants to happen to her. That Uzaki girl got boned as well. Uzaki girl is also asking for the dick. If you can draw real emotions like that out of people, you'll get posts like that. Exactly. When you say content, what people really mean by content is they need to feel something. Everyone's lives are empty and hollow, and they need to feel something, anything, out of the day. So you have to trigger some sort of response out of people. If you're just technically skilled and it doesn't trigger some kind of emotional response, then it doesn't really work as content. That's the truth. That's why we need NTR. I feel like NTR is kind of like saturated at this point. It's like, oh, thank God we have NTR. It's like literally everything is NTR at this point, so... Seeing vanilla stuff with no punchline is fresh. It is weird, I like vanilla stuff more now. Your brain has been... It's gone through the full cycle. Your brain has been destroyed so much that it's gone around and now it's back at, like, starting point 1. Your fan sounds like the torches in Ocarina of Time. I can't open my window because my mother is like, everybody walking on the street can hear you talking about your prostate or your ass bleeding or whatever. So, yeah, I have to have my window closed, hence the fan is required, even though it's not that hot yet. Skill is useless without soul. Yeah, soul is one of those weird words, but you don't have to be that vague. It's more like skill is useless without some kind of like direction, you know? There needs to be a purpose for all the technical skill. Why do they sit near your window? Unfortunately, there's a lot of pedestrians in my area, so... This may be hard to understand if you're an American, but I live in an area in which people actually walk around and shit, so... If you're living in red state America, everybody is 50 miles apart, living in their shitty-ass farmhouses, and they have to get in their truck if they want to go to the local McDonald's and drive like 50 miles to get there, so... but I am not living in red state America. I'm living in a blue region, which means there's all these fuckers who walk around doing pedestrian shit. Full of communists and homosexuals, yeah. Thank God red state America has no homosexuals, am I right, straight boys? We're just a bunch of Republican voting cowboys who respect God and Jesus and would never ever suck another guy's cock. Never ever. We love America too much to suck cock. GOP, more like grand old penis, am I right? Haha. For those of you in Europe, there was a prominent I don't think it was prominent, but there was a Republican politician who he got caught in a Minnesota airport sticking his leg underneath the stall to the toilet stall next to him, which apparently is gay sign language for let's fuck or something. And it was an undercover police officer and he got caught. Most heterosexual Republican. This is a pretty common thing, of course. Like every few years, there's some guy who's like homosexuality is a sin, who will be caught with like 15 male hookers. Officer caught him while sucking his cock. I'm pretty sure they didn't get to the cock sucking phase, but you know. You can't have everything. Here in Hungary, a famous right-winger got caught fleeing a gay orgy like last year. Yeah. It's basically the same as all the people on Twitter claiming some artists are pedophiles or something because they draw lolis and then getting arrested because they have like 10,000 terabytes of child porn on their computer. The people who protest the most are the ones who are probably engaging in that activity. I'm just baffled gay orgies are so common and they never invite me. You're probably not on the right Craigslist or Facebook groups or whatever. Also, they probably only invite hot guys. That might be the problem. You're probably just not hot enough. Common issue, honestly. Look, I'm just telling him the truth before the gay guys get all snarky and tell him. I like to test myself and watch gay porn once a year. I'm so heterosexual that it's not even worth that try. I only like collecting gay porn because I need it for the male anatomy of drawing strong, fat men. But I look at porn all day, and I've never gotten a man boner to affirm my homosexuality, so I think I'm pretty much maxed out in my heterosexuality, it seems. I don't believe gays are real. That's right. We just have straight guys sucking cock. Just normal heterosexual cock sucking going around here. Speaking of which, I guess it's time to start turning on the gachi. Fuck you! So what's the context for the suction? I think someone might have explained it in another stream, but I can't remember. Was he just playing a doctor? It seems like a doctor, like he's doing surgery or something. You know, I'm surprised there isn't a gachi fighting game, an indie fighting game developed yet. It seems like something that someone would create. Who would you main if there was a gachi fighting game? I think I want some strong zoning options. So I'd probably play Van Darkholm. They probably go to Mugen, true. I know Abe-san is in Mugen, which so it's basically the gachi fighting game.
Spanking.
Ricardo has to be the best grappler in fighting game history. Do you play fighting games? I don't have enough time for it. You basically only have enough time to do one of the following. Draw and consume stuff casually, and then have, or two of the following. You can have like one thing that you do casually, and then one thing that you do hardcore in life. So drawing takes up all my fucking time, and then I have like casual chill out stuff that I don't take very seriously. And you can play fighting games casually, I guess, but ultimately you get to the point where the content is just getting better, right? So it's kind of like, it's not something that's really good for, as a casual hobby. Any kind of action that feels like grinding, I feel like I don't want to be doing it because I should be grinding art. I was playing a MOBA called Predecessor recently, and I had to uninstall it because I was starting my manga, which says a lot about, you know, the kind of mentality you need to be in.
Let it be said by our children's children that when we were tested by DOS attacks and refused by YouTube, we did not turn back, and we were carried forth. Let the great gift of freedom be delivered.
If I were going to play a fighting game, I'd play Guilty Gear just so I can look at Baiken's tits.
But also, who struggled and sacrificed so that we might live better.
Kind of sad your dedication is admirable, though. I don't really have the reflexes to get good, though. It's not like I don't play video games. I just don't have the time for, like, grinding stuff, you know? Like, you have content that you do when you're too tired to be putting energy into something, and then you have the content that you do when you're at full energy and like at the peak of your powers, and that's about it. Which is why like people who have really hard jobs go home and they watch like Big Bang Theory or some trash, and it's not really their fault because they can't fucking handle reading Crime and Punishment after a day of working at Amazon warehouse number 5000. I loves Milia's pelvis. Should we make a tier list of Guilty Gear characters I want to have sex with? I think there'd be too many of them who are in S tier that it's not really worth my time. It's just like the S tier is like 6 people, so.
It's a fucking D.
Actually, Milia would probably be a B. I'm not super attracted to her. I'll give her to Zato or whoever the fuck it was that she wanted to fuck with. I'd say Baiken and Jacko are S tier. They both have gotten their internet moments basically just based on their sex appeal only. Jacko's fuck me pose was so iconic that people discovered it. The normies on the internet discovered it like 3 years after she was released in Guilty Gear Xrd 2 or whatever. Or was it Xrd 1? I can't even remember. And they were like, holy shit, she has her ass in the air. It's like, yeah, we've went through this. I noticed that 5 years ago, bro. But the normies, it fucking blew the normies' mind. Zard 2, and it was more like 6 years ago. But was it 6 years between when it came out and when they noticed it on the internet? I feel it was like 4 years or so. It was like 2 or 3 years probably. It took a while. Was it really a total of 6 years? Maybe I wasn't counting properly. I felt like Strive and Xrd 2 were pretty close to each other, but maybe they weren't. I feel like Strive was one of the most disappointing things that has happened in terms of fighting game Kumari. Xrd was actually better than Strive in terms of like graphics and stuff. I can't speak for gameplay because I'm not going to play the games, but whatever style change that Daisuke decided that he was going to go through was a massive downgrade. Not massive, but like a minor downgrade. Which is really disappointing. I feel like Xrd is probably like the best looking anime graphics in a 3D medium ever. I feel like if you called a Zoomer a bunch of fruits, their vocabulary is so different right now, they wouldn't even know that you were making a gay slur. It feels like something out of like, you know, many, many years ago, which it is, but people don't really call gay people fruits anymore. It's from the fucking 50s, yeah. Like, if you called a Zoomer a fruit, they'd be like, I love fruit. I play Fruit Ninja every day. I'm a Zoomer and I get it. Yeah. Maybe I'd have to go even a few generations below that. Like, Gen Alpha or something. Oh. The Canadian police used to have a fruit machine where they showed you gay porn to decide if you were homo or not. What, were they like checking your cock while you looked at it? They're like, I think he's getting a chubby right now, guys.
Probably both. You know?
Probably
I think the
both.
mainstream is Force and Boys nowadays, you know.
Well, you've been playing a lot lately. You've been playing some Black Rock Mountain. What are your thoughts on the new cards and stuff?
Bad, it's
Man, that Van Darkholm interview gets so much traction in all these all the gotchi tapes. What song is this? I'm not sure. There's just a playlist. It says deep dark house music.
Chat. Spam. Gotcha. Yeah. Chat. Spam. Gotcha. Yeah.
Who do you think is more likely to watch this interview? Is this going to be watched by Forsen Boys or by mainstream?
Probably.
It sounds like he's saying Forsen
The
Boys.
mainstream is Force and Boys
What?
nowadays, you know.
Well, you've been playing a lot lately. You've been playing some Black Rock.
Is that what he's saying? Is they actually saying Forsen Boys?
Bad, it's
Who is this Forsen person? Horse Boys? Same difference, I guess. Wasn't that a streamer of sorts? Yes. Forsen is a streamer, was a streamer, am a streamer. He was also called Horsen because he got banned for somebody sneaking a horse cock onto his stream. I think he clicked on a link and it was like horse porn or something. Twitch did not appreciate the joke.
Dungeon Master.
You two obviously want to suck what a real man has. So get down on your knees and suck every last drop of my cum until my dick is trained. Now!
Suction.
Fucking coming. No, I don't do anal.
Dungeon Master.
Imagine playing this somewhere abroad where people don't really know English that well. I feel like the moans would give it away.
I'm so horny.
I mean, but where could you play this where people don't know gachi? You can't play it in Russia. Like, half of the content is made by Russians at this point. You can't play it in Japan, which is one of the top places where English isn't known well. You can't play it in China. They're more of a Midsummer Night's Wet Dream meme area, but they still probably know their gachi. Where can you go where people don't actually know the gachi? I mean, do we have anybody in a European country in stream right now that are like, nobody in my area knows what gachi is? That's a big thigh. Yeah, I thought of making it smaller, but I thought I should make it as meaty as possible. Sometimes you have to go like off traditional anatomy to go full in on the meatiness of some stuff. I have to give her lipstick. I keep on being like, I'm gonna give her lipstick next, and I keep on forgetting. Mitsuru is a lipstick-pilled girl, so... So what I do is when I apply grays is I always just I put it in a darker color and then I adjust opacity afterwards. But I don't think I'll be able to do that if I'm working in black and white printing methods when doing manga. So I might have to actually fiddle with a lot of my drawing practices going forward, which is gonna have to suck. I ripped the skin. Does she ever actually smile in her artwork? Huh. Smiling a little. Suction!
Dungeon Master.
Jaws all on the floor like panic. Started whooping her ass first and before they first with divorce, sewing her over furniture. Suction. It's the return of the. Wait, no, wait, you're kidding. He didn't just say what I think he did.
Yeah, that's what I asked.
And Dr. Dre said,
This thing is 300 bucks.
Conversation in chat has stopped now that I started Gotchi and people just start typing ass.
look at him walking around, grabbing his flipping the you know.
Everybody's hypnotized by all the Gotchi porn.
Couple of screws up in my head, but no worse than what's going on in your parents'
Whole entire house.
Sometimes I wanna get on TV and
Be a movie star.
can't, but it's cool for Tom Green to hump a dead man and go.
I'm an artist. Performance artist. Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master. I'm an artist. Performance artist. Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master.
My dad is on your lips. My dad is on your lips. And if I'm lucky, it gets bigger when I pull them. And that's the message that we deliver to little kids and expect them not to know what a
Master.
rip the skin is. Of course they're gonna know what rip the skin is. By the time they hit fourth grade, they got the channel don't they? We ain't nothing but well, some of us
Swallow my cum.
other people. But if we can hump that, listen, there's no reason that I'm moist and another boy can't elope. But if you feel like I feel,
That turns me on.
when you sing the chorus and it goes.
I'm an artist. Performance artist. Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master.
I started packing for work, LOL.
Performance artist. I'm an artist. Performance artist. Dungeon Master.
I started looking at
Dungeon Master.
videos of professional mangaka drawing once I started doing my manga recently to see if I could pick up on anything. And it really doesn't help, honestly. Watching other people draw, it really doesn't make you any better. That's my conclusion. Every once in a while you're like, oh, maybe I should do something like that. Or like maybe I should draw at a different pace or something like that. But 90% of the time it's just like, yeah, kind of meaningless.
You like watching me? Okay.
Now this is a song from my pre-teen years right here, or maybe teenage years, I guess. Take it, boy. I become... I can't figure out what I want to do with this breast line right here. Whether I just want to darken it or change the shape of the breast contour. Obviously this is the most important part of the drawing, the boobs, so really have to nail that stuff. Never get distracted on what is the most important part of the drawing. It's either going to be the vaginal bulge or the nipple of the boob or whatever, something like that. Make sure you spend the most time on that area. Make sure that you can properly see the shape of the vulva through the panties. That's a pro tip right there. Vagina bones, yes. Trying to figure out whether I want to have really hard shadow underneath the neck or not. This is why it's good to do everything on different layers and have like literally hundreds of layers, because then you don't have to like fix it. If you don't like it, you can just turn off the layer.
What the hell are you doing there? The other night, when the boys were sleeping, I reached out and pulled his dick. I like it.
Is this Dragon Force?
Like the other day, I was in the shower and I was fantasizing about it.
Yeah, this is Dungeon Force through the deep dark fantasies.
What I'm trying to say is, bro, it's me.
I honestly don't like Dragon Force that much in terms of like hard, fast metal. I feel like they kind of overdo it.
Hey, the truth is the fantasy that was common God. Happening more and more, and it really turned me on.
It has not been the path for the faint-hearted or seek only the fleshly pleasures. Rather, it has been the risk-taker, the wasted genie, the creators of mad things. For us, they toiled in sweatshops, endured the lash of the spanking time and time again. These men struggle and sacrifice so that we might live better.
Just move it up.
Ah! Oh! Oh!
Fucking coming.
What kind of music do you like? I listen to a bunch of stuff. I do not listen to current hip-hop. That is one thing I do not like. I've been listening to a lot of Manowar, if we're talking about hardcore metal content. Because I've had to be drawing... I've been drawing like high-energy manga panels. So I need the music for that. So I've been listening to Manowar. I like how 90% of Manowar's songs are about cosplaying as a Viking and murdering your enemies and raping their women and then dying and stuff like that. It gets me in the right mental mood for drawing manga.
For us, they toiled in sweatshops, endured the lash of the spanking time and time again. These men struggle and sacrifice so that we might live better.
Kinda like Gachi. Yes, Manowar is basically Gachi. It's the same content, basically. When your manga is done, is it going to be uploaded in 4-page posts on Twitter, posted entirely on Patreon, or put in a third-party folder and linked? Probably all of the above. I'm going to have it on Patreon first. It's going to be... the dubbing is way ahead of the actual manga. So it's going to be on YouTube, because Solus got that shit early. And then there's probably going to be a linked folder on Patreon, I guess. I guess that's the plan. And then I'll also be posting it on Twitter. I like the Manowar song that's called Pleasure Slave, and it's entirely about abducting women and NTRing them from their previous husbands and turning them into sex slaves. And it has a chorus of women like moaning in the background the entire song. It really boosts my masculine energies.
That's the main theme and hot sex.
I can't wait to get into Dragon's Dogma 2. Apparently there's a stone that makes pawns with huge boobs appear. I clicked on one of the summoning stones and it was like... It was one of the stones that gave you an over-leveled pawn, and it was like an officially Capcom-sponsored pawn called Virgil. And I was like, okay, I guess I have to summon this guy to check him out. And he showed up and he was like, why should I have to listen to what you tell me to do? And I was like, oh, this guy has fucking Dragon's Plague, and I immediately threw him to the river. All the other pawns that were on my team were like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? I was like, oh, he's just being Virgil. Into the brine you go, boy. I haven't gotten any of my pawns with Dragon's Plague besides that. I'm going Magic immediately. I don't play Magic at all in Dragon's Dogma, honestly. I just like slapping shit with my large weapons, so... Wait, that Virgil? I mean, he was titled Virgil. I assume because he was a Capcom-sponsored pawn or whatever, he's supposed to be Virgil. And of course he has fucking Dragon's Plague. Fuck that guy. I only ever go strength melee in games, so I'm trying to expand my horizons. I mean, Dragon's Dogma is the one where you should really be jumping around between like 8 different classes, honestly. Dragon's Dogma is built for playing multiple classes, so... Not archer shit, though, that's cringe. I mean, it's actually fun in Dragon's Dogma because you can aim for weak points and do headshots and stuff, but... Alright guys, I'm going to end the stream here. We've finished the Gotcha playlist. So, see you around guys. Hope you have a nice day. I have to do a few more picks for this Mitsuru post. Good night. Have a nice night. See you guys.